How's it going, guys? You good? Welcome to TPB's Tech-Bodge Emporium. Guys, in this one, we are going to be repairing my mouse. I've got this G703. Basically, the wheel's broke. It stopped responding, stopped scrolling. I mean, it still lights up, but it stopped scrolling. Right, so basically, the way this wheel works, and the reason I have took it up, I have opened it up just to double check that what I think is wrong before I waste money on it. Should always do that. Anyways, the way this wheel works is it sits on a spindle. That spindle's made of clear plastic. That's so that this light shines through it. But basically, that clear spindle, it's really thin, and at the end of that spindle, at this end, there's like a molded like hex gear, like a male hex gear, and that goes into the receiving motor that controls the scroll. It's just a weak point, so we're going to replace that. I got a kit. It cost me like £8, so I will leave a link down below. I'll show you what comes in the kit and how easy it is to repair this. Instead of spending £55 on a new one of these, it's like £8. So again, saving money, So yeah, you can get replacements of this that have not got a plastic spindle, so they're like basically an entire anodized aluminum wheel, which is a nice little mod. And if the replacement to this, because I've just gone with basically the same wheel that was on here in the first place, if that fix doesn't last very long, I'll probably end up going with the aluminum wheel. But until that point, I still want it to shine light through, and it won't shine light through if you go with the aluminium one. So yeah, we're going to be repairing that. There is one other fact. The kit that I've ordered does come with replacement feet, because you do have to remove the feet to get out the screws. Obviously, I've got these Talon Games skates in here. Now, most people will probably just buy a new set of skates, depending on how old they are. But in all honesty, I love the guys at Talon Games for these, because they're a reasonably priced skate and they work really well. And the removal tool is elite. Although I will say that the only thing that I've found that removal tool hasn't been able to live through is taking these off, because I shredded it and it didn't take it off, so I have to use a blade to take them off. But because I'm a little bit frugal and I feel like I've already paid for like 4 kits of these Talon Game skates in the recent months, I'm not better to spend on another one of these. So I do have lying around this double-sided tape. Now this stuff is like super fine. It's like 0.05 millimeters thick. So it's really thin stuff, like really thin double-sided tape. So I'm going to try and use that. Hopefully these skates stay in one piece as I pull them off, and I can retape them up with this stuff. But yeah, I guess there's nothing to it but to do it, eh? So let's go. Right, okay guys. Right, I'm just going to get these skates off. As you can see, I'm using a Stanley blade. This is so that I put as little bend pressure on these skates as much as possible, so that I can reuse them, since they are glass. But you probably shouldn't do this. So yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Anyways, they're off. So I'm going to clean the skates. We'll get rid of the tape and stuff that's left over behind. On the mouse there. So let me just quickly get these skates cleaned off. I'm just using some alcohol wipes here, just to work off the residue of the glue from the back of these skates, because we're going to be using that double-sided tape to clean them up. Right, so I just need to quickly scrape the tape that was holding the skates on. That's still on the it's rather satisfying when it all comes off in one piece like that. It's not satisfying when little bits will get left over. This top one doesn't come off as neatly, but still get rid of this tape so we've got a nice clean surface. Before I take the mouse apart, I just want to make sure that everything's good to go. I'll just get rid of as much residue as possible there, so that these skates are almost ready to go back on. And once I've done this, I just want to quickly get the skates taped up. So before we've even entered the mouse, I want to make sure that I'm ready to just throw this thing back together in one quick go as soon as I've got it apart, like so. We are going to do that now. Just going to put this this tape on the back of the skates. But like I said, this tape is 0.05 millimeter thick. It's really thin stuff. So what I'm going to do really is just stick the skates onto the tape and then cut around them. Advantage with this one, it's a bit of a dodgy curve, so I've got to be a little inventive with the positioning of my tape, but it all works. As you can see, I've cut around them. So in the package, we've got some replacement PTFE tape feet. They look alright, they look like they're going to fit, but we're not going to require them. And the other thing you get is obviously the replacement wheel. Like I said, this is OEM matching, so it's how it comes. But as you can see, right on the very end, you see on the tip there, that is like a little hex cog, which is what has sheared off on the one in the mouse, which I'll show you now. So we'll just quickly get these screws out, if I get the right screw bit. Helps if you've got the right screwdriver bit. I didn't get the wrong thing. I wasn't using a Y bit. Right, anyway, let's get these off. Now, when you're pulling this thing apart, it's only these 4 screws that hold it together. I'm going to grab that Talon Games separator, just pop these apart. It's in there straight, like butter. Anyway, with this mouse, you've got to be super careful, because at the front it's got this like weird clip hinge mechanism going on. So what you want to do is lean it up, and then you want to disconnect this ribbon cable at the back here, so you're not yanking on that at the same time. And then essentially you want to sort of like wiggle, and just gently wiggle until it lets go. This is the second time the mouse has been open, so it's a lot easier the second time round. But the first time you have to do a bit of wiggling. But eventually it will just come free like there was nothing wrong. Right, so we'll pop this wheel out. Just so you know, I wouldn't, if it wasn't broken how I said it was broken, I wouldn't have been able to pull it out without popping the motor back. But as you can see, it's completely sheared off there. It's gone. I did try gluing it back together, but it just went straight away. Well, I got about 20 minutes out of it. But as you can see, there's a whole chunk of plastic off the end missing there. So we just need to get rid of all any remainder. So we'll make sure that you get out all the plastic. This is going to become relevant in a minute. But essentially, what you need to do, can you see that little bit of plastic in there when you get that out of there? Now I thought that this was the rest of it, but it isn't, which we'll find out very, very soon. Let me just get that out there. Now to put it back on, you need to take this little daughter board off, so these 2 screws. This allows you to move the motor out so that you can hook it onto the wheel once it's in place. Now, I quite quickly realised that this is not going to happen, and that is because there's still a bit of wheel left in. There's still a bit of that cog left in the motor on the end there. I didn't realise it, so I had to get that out of there. I'll show you now. So the cog part was still there. That was still in the motor. So now that's free. We can get this wheel back in, and a nice satisfying just plop onto there. Give it a nice squeeze in, and now we can replace those screws on the daughter board. There first, go back in, and screws back on. But like I said, if the wheel wasn't broken, you would have had to do this to get the wheel off, as it is sort of sandwiched in there. You put the little cradle thing over the top. It only goes one way. It doesn't fit the other way, so you just try it a couple of both ways until it fits. Right, so that's that back together. So we just need to put this thing back together now. Oh, that feels nice. Wheel feels nice. Right, so let's get this thing back together. And we just got to sort of like hook that front end in to where it needs to be, and then sort of lower the case down, come around the other side, and before you completely close the mouse up, you need to get that ribbon cable, get that nicely seated into the socket there. I hate ribbon cables, but for some reason this one just behaved itself and just went in. You see that nice drop in there, we go, all the way. Right, so once you've got that front hooked in and then you're closing down on it, it should just all sort of like click into place nicely, and then it's just get the screws back on. Now it's funny, I thought I'd lost a screw here and I was like, I'm gonna have to find it, but as you can see, there's just straight up chilling out on the end of my screw bit there, which was handy. I actually realised when I pick up the next one and I'm like, oh, there's two there. Where did that one come from? It's only watching back. Spoiler, this voiceover is not done at the same time as putting this together. If it wasn't obvious. But yeah, I noticed afterwards that it was on there. Right, let me just get these feet back into place. I still have to hand it to Talon Games, like their feet fit like millimeter perfect. Like they're so perfect in fit that you have to get them exactly right, otherwise they don't fit. There's no room for tolerance with them at all. Like they have to be like right on spot, otherwise they don't fit. But I like that. I think it makes for a nice finish. This tape seems to be holding them down nicely. And there's a mouse done. Happy days. Looks like we've not even been in there. And the wheel. Yeah, it's working. Right, guys. So yeah, that's it done now. Oh, it's so nice. It's scrolling away now. Oh, it's so nice, so nice. You get that lovely little coggy feeling that you get off these Logitech mice. So nice to have that done. And £8. Like £8 fixing this is so much better than paying like 55 quid for a new mouse. And if I was going to get a new mouse, would I get the same one? Probably. I really like the shape of this 703. And I don't mind the weight. I'm a bigger guy anyway. I never use any of the weight things in the bottom, but regardless, the only real sketchy or complicated part, I would say, to the removal, fixing this. If you've got normal feet, that's a walk in the park. You scrape those bad boys off, put the new ones on. They look like they'd fit perfectly, so I don't see a problem with that. But the only real sketchy bit, certainly the first time this gets opened, is this sort of hinge mechanism that they've got hooked in at the front. You've got to be a little bit gentle. You just got to get it in the very right spot and it will just pop out, but you've just got to, don't try and force it, just wiggle it around and it will find its way out. It's a lot easier the second time round. But yeah, and be careful of that ribbon cable as you pulling it open. But in all general, like, I don't think this is a job that anyone with half the confidence in tech, small things. If you're a handy guy, you're not gonna have a problem doing this job. It's quite a simple little task, and yeah, I'm super happy with the results. I got my mouse back now, guys. It was right. Look, I think this is a wicked little mouse. This 305. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a wicked little mouse. It's why I use it on my capture rig. But it was basically the replacement for this in game whilst I was waiting for a wheel. And dropping from the dropping from the 25k sensor in this down to the 12k sensor in this, it was a bit of a culture shock. Like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with this mouse. This mouse is wicked, and it needed a little bit of adjustment for me to my system for it to essentially get the same sort of feel as this. Because I don't use any sort of mouse acceleration either in the desktop or in the game or anything. Everything's really turned off, and I really do just hand it down to Logitech's DPI and that. Like I prefer it that way. So I felt the impact of this and not being able to jump to that 25k sensor for when I'm like, you know, like on the desktop. That's its place. I'm not a low sense gamer. I like having a bit of space for me to work with, but its place, that 25k sensor, that fastest point is the desktop. It's just nice being able to go from one side of the screen to the other with the tiniest little flick, and yeah, it just means that you don't have to do too much moving around. Just do stuff on the desktop. Whereas this is, you know, I have to drag across on that one. This one, on this side, sweet, because obviously everything's set up to go up and down, like, and there's plenty of movement there. But yeah, when I've got the keyboard on here and stuff, and I'm just on the desktop, this is so much better for getting around that. Plus, I really like the feel of this mouse. I'm so used to it. I just didn't want to have to use another mouse, so I'm super happy with the results. And yeah, if your wheel stops working, especially if it's one of these Logitech ones, especially if it's got a shine through on the wheel, it's probably going to be that. It's probably just sheared off right on the motor where that cog is on the end of the post, and you just need to replace them. I've seen replacement wheels for quite a few mice, so I'm guessing that this is an roundabout issue anyway. And you could replace with an aluminum wheel if you want to. There are options out there. Just Google your mouse, Amazon search your mouse with a replacement wheel, and it'll probably come up with some options. But I will leave a link to this one down below because it worked fine and the feet look good. So yeah, if you're just using a normal 703 and you just use normal feet and stuff, like, yeah, that kit comes with them and they look decent. It came with everything that you needed to do the job, so I can't complain at that. So yeah, if you've liked the video, guys, like and subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe. Thank you.